And this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. And I got a lot to cover before the main live stream this morning. So I give you guys a little preview of some things I'm going to cover. I'm going to talk a little bit about Trump and Iran, which is the main topic of the morning stream today, the Fauci diary, and a new story on Mike Lindell that I just saw a few minutes ago, which I'll get to as well. But for my lead story today is, and this was reported in the New York Post. This story is right at the top of my X, and it's going to be my lead on the morning show today. There's was an Iranian assassination plot against Melania and Barron. So we have in the last, we have multiple assassination attempts by Iran on the president. A couple of weeks back, there was an Iranian plot on Ivanka. Now we got an Iranian plot against the First Lady and Barron. I mean, what the hell, with you never Trumpers and liberals, what the freak is wrong with you? How many assassination plots and attempts do we need on the president and the first family by Iran before you guys say it's okay to bomb them, right? The fact is that liberals, you're sick, twisted psychopaths, and you're consumed with hatred of Trump, of conservatism, and really just of authority because you got daddy issues, I guess. I don't know. But if for these assassination plots, he could blow the whole country up with nuclear bombs, and a decent American would support all of that. But you guys are completely indecent. Now I'm going to go through the details of this Iranian plot against Melania and Barron on the morning show today. You will not want to miss that. And I will take your live calls as well on that. They're certainly welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. All right, but that's my lead story today. And I'm also going to cover the Fauci diary, which is so pathetic. And you got to ask yourself this question. This with the Fauci diary, which was going to be my lead story today until this Iranian plot to assassinate the First Lady, Melania and Barron. So I switched. The lead's going to be that. But about the Fauci diary, the Fauci diaries, this is my question to you. And you guys could answer this. If you guys could respond to this question with a 1 or 2 word answer, what type of grown-ass man has a freaking diary? I mean, how many of you guys out there have a diary? I don't have a diary. Diaries are for girls. And women. What type of grown man has a diary? Does any answers to that? What do you guys? How would you describe that? I find it just kind of girly that a grown man like that keeps a diary. Does he have it a little key with little locket on it? I mean, what the hell? Yeah, narcissist is probably, the best word. Twisted narcissist, sick narcissist. Yeah. Aren't all narcissists sick? He's a sicker just a psychopath. Journaling is for girls, right? Journaling is for girls and women. It's not for men. Do any of you men out there, do you guys keep diaries? Weirdo, that's another good one. Yeah. So we'll go through that as well on the show today, and take your calls, because I find it just bizarre that a grown man has a. But my lead story is going to be this Iranian assassination plot on Melania and Barron, and it was very detailed, very detailed. Then I'm going to get into the Fauci diary. And there's another story. I got a story just while I was waiting for my coffee to be made on Mike Lindell in Minnesota. Do you know the Republican primary is next month in Minnesota? Not only is Mike Lindell in first place, he's leading by 9 points, almost 10 points in the latest poll in Minnesota. Okay? Think about that. That's amazing. And, I've been hearing from all of these liberals that are trying to get me to drop Mike Lindell. Some guy, he left a message or a comment on one of my YouTube videos. And he's, and what these liberals that are reaching out to me to try to get me to drop my pillow, which every conservative in America, advertises my pillow. But all the liberals, they try to pass themselves off as conservatives, but they give themselves away. I give you an example. This guy left a comment on one of my YouTube videos, multiple times on different videos, and he says, do you think you should drop Mike Lindell since he switched his position on migration? We don't refer to it as migration, conservatives, MAGA. We refer to it as illegal immigration. Migration. When I was a kid and I moved from Ohio to Florida, that's migration. You migrate within the country. Like we talk about illegal immigration. These liberals, when they try to pass themselves off as conservatives, they just don't know the lingo. They don't know the lingo. They screw it up all the time. But I've heard from a lot of people in the last few days that I should drop Mike Lindell in my pillow. Every single one of them has been a liberal, not a single conservative. And he is 9 points ahead in the Republican primary in the latest poll. So that's pretty significant, right? I mean, that's pretty amazing. And perhaps he's, because he's in the primary, he's there's a lot of hostility and a lot of moderates in Minnesota. Maybe he's trying to reach out. I don't know what his deal is, but to see that he is 9 points ahead in the latest Republican Party primary poll in Minnesota, I mean, that's something. I don't know. Whose tactics do? The liberals? Yeah, the liberals. The liberals are all about lying, misinformation, deception. They'd be more effective if they admitted what they were and stop trying to pass themselves off as conservative, right? Trying to pass themselves off as conservatives, it always falls apart. I don't always call them out, because that's all I would do. But, a guy called me on the air yesterday. Remember, he was trying to, he brought up Mike Lindell. And then turned out, and I recognized his voice. He was that liberal guy that confronted Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing out at a restaurant last year, and then he just totally came unglued on the show, and then he hung up. His total voice and demeanor changed when I smoked him out, trying to pass himself off as a MAGA guy. Yeah, exactly. And yet, yeah, that's right, Scooter. They just there's not, they just can't come at things honestly. They would maybe be a little more successful if they were honest. Yuri Andropov? That's right. The leader of the Soviet Union? Is that who you're talking about? Why would somebody bring up Andropov today? Haven't heard that name in years, since I was a kid. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. On the next stream, I will be in the studio taking live calls. But my lead story is going to be this very detailed Iranian assassination plot against Melania and Barron, which is, I don't know ever of an assassination plot against a first lady who's the most beloved first lady since Jackie Kennedy. And I don't know of any other assassination plots against the first children until the Trump family. You know, and these Trump derangement syndrome suffering liberals could give a you know what about it. I mean, they're just, you know, they don't even cover these things in the news. Now, there's a detailed article in the New York Post, which is what I'm going to go over when the show starts in a little less than 30 minutes. But we all got to pray for the first family, really do. And my guess is that President Trump has got a pause in military operations because of the Lindsey Graham funeral, and a lot of world leaders are flying here, like Netanyahu, for the Lindsey Graham funeral. He's lying in state today. Be a funeral. I get the ceremony with the president. The funeral's tomorrow. Yeah. So that's probably what the pause is about. I could be wrong, but you know, how do you know we're out of missiles? What do you got? Some classified access? Why? Because some liberal said so? I love how you guys are all into, you know, liberals are into manifesting. If they say it, it'll make it true. We're not out of missiles. We make the missiles. We've got more freaking missiles. We're out of ammo. Are you kidding me? They haven't been using as many bombs as you think, because these have been, in Iran, have been very surgical strikes. I mean, this isn't just some mass just throwing rockets everywhere. They've been surgical strikes. Liberals are out of their mind, Travis. You are right on the money. There's no doubt about it. They're right on the money. Yep. Nope. Mm-hmm. But I have no, you know, if there have been, I don't know of them. I don't know of any assassination plots against first ladies before Melania, or the children of presidents. I don't know of any. Never heard of them before. Now it's becoming like a weekly event. You can always count on Pete Hegseth. No question about it. No question about it. Make sure you guys subscribe who are new to the channel. And please like the video if you don't mind. But, you know, you really got to pray for the Trump family. You know, the sacrifice and the risks that President Trump and his family are taking to make America great again, bring stability to the world, have peace in the Middle East, which we basically have peace in the Middle East, right? Because Iran's in check. You know, if you don't include Iran, there's peace in the Middle East. All these things that they're doing, and they're taking great risk to achieve them, the Trump family. It's absolutely amazing. They're amazing people. They really, truly are. And the liberals are just consumed with hate. Now, the guy that said he's out of missiles, you a-hole, in the chat, I mean, that cannot be an American. That's got to be like a Canadian, a Muslim, not an American. And an American wouldn't talk that way. Too much anger about America's victory over Iran. How could you be angry that we've defeated Iran? Who would that piss off? Right? Exactly. Exactly. Now, those of you that are new, on my next stream, which will be, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so, I'll be in the studio. And when I'm in the studio live streaming, I take live calls. So you can call me regardless of your opinions. Yeah. But the Fauci diary, I don't know of a single grown man other than Fauci that keeps a diary. Do any of you guys have diaries that you keep? Oh my goodness. A daily calendar is not a diary, by the way. I mean, like he kept an actual diary. That's pretty strange for a man to do, I think. You know, whatever. It's just me, but I don't know any guys that keep diaries. Make everything great again? Yeah, it's okay. Or does that make Europe great again? Well, we'd like to, you know. Fauci poetry. It is strange to keep a diary. They should release that diary in bookstores for sale. What charity would the Fauci diary funds go to? Presidents don't keep diaries. There's records of all of their movements, but they don't keep diaries. Diaries are for little girls and women. Women call it journaling. Girls call it diaries. Men, we call it gay. Right? What do you call it? Exactly. I mean, why would... all the guys I know, I cannot fathom any guy that I know having a damn diary. Right? Goebbels, well, Fauci's in good company then. Mm-hmm. That's right. Make America great again today. Indeed. Well, I tell you, this espresso kicks in so quick. Yep. Yep. 5 shots of espresso. Okay, right there. For those that don't believe me, there it is. 5 shots of espresso with cream. Yep. Gets me going. Well, hey, it's a 3-hour show I got ahead of me. And I've already been up 4 hours doing my show prep. Mm-hmm. That's right. Lots of show prep, lots of reading in the morning. Lots of reading. And I like Lindsey Graham's sister that he adopted and raised as his own child after the death of their parents, who's now the senator from South Carolina. She's all about the Save America Act. I hope she brings it up during the funeral. Mm-hmm. Well, McFly, if you ever grow up and have a job and responsibilities and a profession and a family, you'll drink coffee too. But when you're sitting around watching online porn and playing video games with a little break to watch me in between, you don't need caffeine because you have no responsibilities as a loser. That's right. It's true. Do I go to bed at 6? Now, last night I went to sleep probably around 8:30. Yep. What are you, a registered psychopath? Okay. Registered nurse doesn't mean you're working. Mm-hmm. Yep, snowflake liberals. That's right. Indeed. If you're new to my channel, guys, make sure that you subscribe. This is without question where MAGA comes to talk. You will not want to miss today's show, okay? So my lead story, I'm going to go through all the details of the Iranian... my lead story is going to be the Iranian assassination plot against Melania and Barron. Going to talk about the Fauci diaries. Mike Lindell in the latest poll in Minnesota in the Republican primary is 9 points ahead. And I'm going to cover that and a lot more too. I got a lot of things to cover today. Liberals, Chris, are pathetic. I will agree. Liberals are pathetic. saying you're a nurse in 12-hour shifts is not the same as actually being a registered nurse, right? Hold on a second, guys. Someone's blasting some music, so hold on. This is so bizarre. So this car pulls up. They're playing, blasting slow jams. And the guy that gets out is about a 75-year-old white guy who's listening to slow jams. Very strange. Between 70 and 75-year-old white guy at 5:29 a.m. is driving around town, blasting at full blast slow jams. That was not who I was expecting to get out of that car. Well, nurses are women, right? That's a female profession. So yeah, women keep diaries, girls keep diaries. Women mostly call them journals, but grown men do not keep diaries. They don't. They don't. Oh my goodness. No, a calendar or planner is not a diary. He was keeping a diary like a little girl with a little locket and a little key, you know. No, grown men. I've not known of another grown man who does that. Nope. Now, of course, every liberal guy will say that they diary now. No, presidents don't count. The presidents, they have people who they're presidents are always writing their memoirs. So presidents keep notes. It's for their memoirs. Those aren't diaries. They're notes and rough drafts for their autobiographies that they publish. Fauci kept a personal diary about how giddy he was over celebrities. That's different. No. Well, Fauci should have a record. Yes, welcome everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, all right? This is where MAGA comes to talk, and the main show will begin in about 15 minutes, where I'll be in the studio taking live calls, so subscribe.